And there's a reason why stereotypes exist. They're typically rooted in some truth. However, that's not the truth for every single black woman.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that these fellas went wrong.
Yeah.
Especially for the fact that they are both black.
Impact. 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 In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. In fact, my hustle is intact. My muscle tough as the hustle, the numbers is just that. And I'ma keep winning and sit back. I love the feeling of killing them with that. Attacking the process, tackling topics, master synopsis. This the residual impact, yeah.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? This is your man, Brandon Gio.
And your man, Jamichael Moore.
And we are the Residual Impact Podcast. Here we inspire others to find the greatness within themselves.
And then apply to their communities.
Let's grow.
Episode 20.
20.
Yes, sir.
What you know about it?
Come on, man. It's a milestone, brother.
We here.
We made it.
We say that all the time.
We alive.
But yo, I definitely want to take the time to say thank you to each and every single one of y'all who tune into us, who watch us constantly. Like, we greatly appreciate it. And we love the fact that you guys love the content that we put out.
Nah.
Because really, without your support, we probably would have quit a long time ago.
For sure. We wouldn't have found value into what we're doing if we didn't even get some of the responses or the engagement that we get from y'all. So we greatly appreciate everything that y'all do for us, man. For real.
So with that being said, for all the newcomers, first of all, welcome to the Residual Impact Podcast. Hello. You're going to love it here. Make sure that if you're watching us on YouTube for the very first time, you go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Mm-hmm. Click that bell notification so you never miss when we upload a video. Also, don't forget to hit that thumbs up and drop a comment down below letting us know what you think about today's episode. Mm-hmm. And if you're listening to us for the very first time on all of your major platforms, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts,
Pocket Cast, man, it's so many more.
So many more. Go ahead and follow the podcast. Give us a follow so that way anytime we upload a new episode, you get your notifications to let you know that Residual Impact has a brand new episode out just for you.
Yes, sir. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
You made me think of something when you said that.
What up?
It just made it's like we're welcoming them to our own home. And it's like we want to treat them as some good guests.
Of course.
Give them that great hospitality.
Yeah.
You know, we love y'all and we appreciate that. We welcome y'all onto our home. Y'all come on in. Come on in.
Yo, I love that. And I can definitely dig it, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. So with that being said, brother, how was your week?
Let's think about it. Let me take some time to actually ponder on what the week was like this week, man.
I mean, we had the very first full week of the new year.
We did.
Right?
We did.
And first, before you continue with that, ladies and gentlemen, it's Happy New Year, not New Year's, plural, okay? I just got to point that out there. So many people, what did you do for New Year's? Happy New Year's. Like, okay, the reason why there's an S at the end, because of New Year's Eve and New Year's Day, right? But we only celebrate one new year. So I just wanted to clarify that.
That's true. Ladies and gentlemen, as you see, I cannot say anything wrong around this man. I got to be always on my P's and Q's. But it does help me, though. I ain't going to lie. Like, I'm writing some stuff, I'll be like, nah, I can't write that. Let me correct this on it.
Got to keep you on your toes, man. You know what I'm saying? Got to keep you focused. Got to keep you aware. Got to keep you paying attention.
Nah, that's true.
Because you just never know.
That actually makes me better, though. I can't lie to you. So that was good. But this week, man, it definitely went by fast because it was more busy. And for me and the profession that I'm in right now, you know, everybody trying to get healthier. They trying to get the body right and everything. So they want the juice. They trying to eat right. They trying to make sure that they're putting good stuff in their body. So this week it was most definitely it was that time of year where everybody is really coming in there and they just trying to do better. So this week it went by very fast. So for the most part, it was just a lot of work, a lot of just prepping myself for the start of the year.
Okay.
But I started off good, though.
Yeah, that sounds great, man. Mm-hmm. Glad to hear that.
But what about you, my brother? How was your week going so far?
The week has been pretty good. Like, I definitely can't complain, man. Mm-hmm. You know what I always say? Every day above ground is a good day.
Amen.
And, I'm happy to be here. Mm-hmm. I'm a week closer to my birthday.
Yes, sir.
As we are recording this. Yeah, man, it's something that I'm gratefully looking forward to. I don't know. I mean, I'm just excited to be here in the new year. Like, I feel like we have so many great things just coming for us. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I've just been thinking about so many different ideas this past week that we can implement here on the show.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's how my week has been. Nonstop between editing and, actually working the 9-to-5 grind. Mm-hmm. Even though you have taken over the editing for the actual episodes.
I did some editing, y'all.
I mean, you've actually taken over the editing for the podcast episodes now, which has definitely been a great help. So I appreciate that.
Thank you.
But now I'm more so on the ends of doing the TikToks and, you know, the Instagram reels and the Instagram posts and stuff like that, and actually coming up with different content to produce on our YouTube channel throughout the week. Mm-hmm. For example, we put up a new video on YouTube earlier this week. I'll get back into it later on in the episode, but it actually did numbers within the first day.
It did.
And man, I'm excited about that. I think we should really do that more often.
I agree.
Because it not only makes people aware of us, but, you know, it allows people to hear our views on certain topics throughout the week as it's happening.
Yeah.
Versus waiting till the very end of the week when we record an episode to be like, okay, well, yeah, this already happened. It's old news. We've been heard about it.
Yeah.
You know, so before we get into what video we actually put up, though, first things first, I want to give a huge shout out to my homegirl, Courtney, who is not really my homegirl, but in my head you are. Y'all may know her as Ari Lennox.
Okay,
but that's my girl, Courtney. You feel me? Yeah, we on a first name basis over here. You understand?
Okay, my bad. I was trying to say, who is that?
Like we talked about before. She at the top of the list, kind of up there with Kelly Rowland. You know what I'm saying? But shout out to Courtney for getting her first solo Billboard hit with her song "Pressure," produced by Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox. So I want to definitely give it up to Courtney. Shout out to you. Her music is awesome. I would love to go see her in concert one day.
It's dope.
Yeah,
it's good to see actually Jermaine Dupri and Brian Michael Cox still making these hit records like this.
Of course, man.
They've been doing this for a long time.
They've been in the game for decades.
Man, what? Since Crisscross, bro.
Yeah.
What in the world? That's amazing.
Yeah.
But shout out to I'm gonna call her Ari Lennox.
Yeah, do that. Because that's not.
My bad. I don't even know her like that. We not friends apparently like y'all. So Ari Lennox, congratulations. That is a major accomplishment right there.
Yes, it definitely is. Shout out to Ari Lennox. Let's go.
Oh man,
call me
name.
Courtney. Give me a call real quick.
First name basis.
Yes, sir.
That's what's up. Though,
but I'm definitely happy that she's, you know, hit that mark. I remember I saw her posting on Instagram earlier last week, and it was just great. I was proud of her. You know what I'm saying? I definitely streamed the song a few more times, and I was listening to a lot of her other music too. So shout out to Ari Lennox, most definitely.
It's funny, you know, just to kind of piggyback on that a little bit. I'm not sure if you've seen, but what was his name? T-Pain. He showed me something about how the streams work and how like you actually how many streams you have to get before it's like even recognized or you make money off certain things. You know, typically we think that one stream is like one stream, you know, that's gonna get some profit. But nah,
I don't think that. No,
I see. I didn't know, bro. It's like apparently you got to get like at least 300 plus streams to get like equate like $1. And it's just depending on the platform. YouTube was like well over 1,000 just to equal $1, and I was like, wow. So I know to hit Billboard, you have to have had like a bunch of streams or a bunch of like literally pushed out stuff to get to where she is. So man, that's not easy. So
it's not.
I definitely believe that she's been putting in some work to get that, man.
She definitely has. So again, shout out to Ari Lennox, and you know, keep doing your thing, girl. Your music is bomb. I'm always going to support her. I'm always going to listen to her music, man. Like,
even if she get a boyfriend?
To my ears. Huh?
Even if she get a boyfriend?
Even if she get a boyfriend, yeah, because that boyfriend going to be... Next topic. We're going to go to the next topic, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Courtney, just hit me in my DMs, girl. We'll chat. We'll talk about that.
What's next for us?
Well, Mike, your boys Fresh and Fit are at it again. Oh, gosh. And that was actually the video that we posted earlier in the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It actually was something that we didn't really plan.
Nope.
You know, as we heard the news happen, we just decided to tell a lot of people about it. And it's surprising that some of the people who we actually got to comment on the video, and maybe even some of the people who shared the video, they didn't even know who Fresh and Fit were.
Yeah.
They this whole situation, they didn't even know who they were.
Yeah.
You know, what ended up happening this week was...
So, Fresh and Fit this week, they unfortunately, the brothers made some comments that it wasn't really appropriate. Let's just say that. You know, I'm not one to try to talk about people, but, you know, hey, sometimes you got to get called out for your foolishness.
That is true.
And this week, when they were talking about black women in general, they just, you know, they stated that, hey, that wasn't necessarily their preference, which is okay.
Right.
But it was the connotation, how they would say it. It was very demeaning in how they were talking about black women, that it just put a bad taste in people's mouth.
Yo, and it's crazy because we've talked about them in several episodes before. Because we've talked about them several times on the podcast before, but this right here, this is going way too far, man.
Yes.
Like, just their choice of words when it came to black women was just... Why? Why would you even say... Like, if you think that, it's not okay, first of all, but second of all, like, why would you openly say that on your public platform?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you must really want to get a whole bunch of negative backlash.
Possibly. Or maybe they just... You know, their platform looks to be geared to a lot of men. So maybe they're not really worried about a lot of women. I don't know. But for them to make some of the comments that they made, it just... Oh, man. Those brothers, they seem to... I don't know. It's like they're in another world right now.
Tell me about it, man.
You know, with some of just the guests that they have, it's just in the content that they put out and the way they gear it towards certain people, it just... To me, sometimes they just seem detached from certain reality, and they're kind of just in their own bubble. And you know, I'm not knocking them or anything, but it's just like I just said, the comments to me were unnecessary. I didn't like how they just seem to be like they like bashing black women in a way, and I'm like, bro,
in a way,
okay,
they were openly bashing black women.
Yeah,
and it's like, dog, Fresh is from Barbados. Fit is from Sudan. Matter is like, brother, you're from Africa. You're from the motherland. You know what I'm saying? Like, and for some reason, like you want to hold all black women to the stereotype that you have not only in your head, but that so many other people have in their head about our women, and that's not the case for all black women.
Yeah.
You know, I get it. It can possibly be the case for some black women. There are stereotypes that suit a lot of people in the world.
Yeah.
And there's a reason why stereotypes exist. They're typically rooted in some truth. However, that's not the truth for every single black woman.
Yeah.
And that's where I think that these fellas went wrong.
Yeah.
Especially for the fact that they are both black.
Yeah. And I think that you said it right there. Like, that was the biggest overall issue with it, right? They have such a big platform, right, with over half
yeah, they have more than 500,000 subscribers.
So you getting out to 500,000 people, right, saying this quote unquote stereotype, right? And let's just say you have some single brothers, right, which clearly you have a lot of men that listen to their channel.
Yeah.
They're listening to them, they looking up to these fellas and saying, yo, we don't want I'm not even gonna say it, I'm not doing that, but we don't want this certain type of woman. And in their minds, you're implanting this thing and like, dang, yo, black women are like this because they look up to y'all. So now I don't want the black women. Hold on, bruh. Black women are beautiful. Black women are amazing. Black women are intelligent.
I've never had any complaints.
Come on.
Never. Like, my sisters are amazing. I love them dearly. My mother, amazing woman. You know what I'm saying? Any woman that I've dated, for, like, really, out of my 4 serious relationships, they've all been black women. Only 2 of them were mixed, and I didn't even know that from the jump.
See, it's like you can't. That is where ultimately where they just made the wrong turn, and I think that's one of the reasons why we wanted to bring them up, is because you can't do that. You can't categorize one group of people or basically an experience that you had that wasn't necessarily up to your standards,
Right.
and just put it on all black women, saying that y'all all the same. No, bro, we don't do that.
Right, because just as easily as they said that about all black women, somebody can easily say that about all black men.
Yeah, we not the same, bro.
Definitely not the same. We are nothing like a lot of the degenerates that people typically paint black men out to be. Mm-hmm. We don't all rob. We don't all steal. We don't all commit crimes. We don't all drink 40 ounce. Like we don't all fit that stereotype.
Exactly.
There's a lot of us out here who are productive members of society that are really working to build, working to do something for our community, working to build with our women, right? To do something so amazing in this world that we're becoming doctors, we're becoming lawyers, we're becoming entrepreneurs, we're becoming whatever it is that we want to become. And we don't have to lie, cheat, steal, or beat people up just to get these credentials that we have.
Right.
We are not our stereotypes. Black women are not their stereotypes. You know? I don't know. I can go on and on and on about that, but moral of the story is think twice before you say something, man. Like, come on. God gave you 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. You need to listen more than you speak.
Yeah.
But in between those 2 ears that you have a brain, or at least you should. With that brain, you have the ability to do so much in this world. Number 1 thing that you should do before you open that 1 mouth that you have is to think about what you're about to say.
Yeah. Oh, how far it's reaching. You never know the impact on someone's life that it may have.
Good or bad.
Yeah. And it reminds me of one time, man. It just shows you like how powerful like media is, right? And especially nowadays where we're in a social media place. I went to Tennessee one time, and this was just an example of media and what people see, they perceive of you. I remember going to Tennessee, and it was a group of us, and we were all black. Mm-hmm. And we went to, this part of Tennessee we went to was predominantly white. Mm-hmm. And we went into a Cracker Barrel. And Cracker Barrel, for those of y'all that don't know, it's a restaurant for breakfast. I think they have some lunch food, but whatever.
Yeah, they do.
They do. Okay, so yeah, they had some lunch food, and we went for breakfast, and pretty much we were probably the only black people in there. And I just remember we were eating, we ate, we had fun, we got ready to get up and leave, and a guy actually stopped one of the people that was with us, and he said, he told one of my friends, he was like, "Hey, I was really impressed by y'all." And the comment was like, "What?" And the dude, my friend not thinking, he was just like, "Yo, man, appreciate that, thank you." And I was like, "Do you know what he meant by that?" Basically, he had a preconceived notion of black people, and he never saw like a group of black people just all acting accordingly in one fashion before. So he was like, "Man, like, I'm impressed that y'all wasn't rioting, y'all didn't have y'all pants sagging." Basically, something that he's seen on TV, media, people speaking about black people in a certain way, he didn't see that. So it's just, when I look at those guys' platforms, it's just like, yo, you just have to realize, man, you have a responsibility now, especially where you have achieved to be at as far as your subscriber count, to, like, let's make sure that we're putting out the right message.
Right.
That everyone may receive, because you never know what people are perceiving, yo.
And that's crazy, man. That wasn't a compliment at all from that gentleman at Cracker Barrel, man. Like, that's a backhanded compliment. Mm-hmm. Something that somebody actually thinks is a compliment, but it's not a compliment at all. Mm-hmm. And so much so, it's crazy. Like, another clip surfaced online with these 2 brothers who were talking to this one young black woman who was on their platform, and they gave her a backhanded compliment. Now, with that, those 2 brothers thought that they were doing something by giving her that backhanded compliment. But there was no, like, they actually thought it was a real compliment, and it wasn't. That was complete BS, man. Again, I hate to give them so much shine on our platform, but stuff like this has to be pointed out. Well, no matter what, there are a lot of people who have been speaking on the situation. I know Young Jock spoke about it, and he went on Instagram Live and spoke about it briefly. I only saw a little bit of the live, but did you watch it at all?
I did not.
Okay. I know he had something to say about it, but what a lot of people were kind of like chiming into was Joe Budden. Joe Budden actually spoke about it. And a few things that Budden had to say, he said, "These idiots know most podcasts can't get off the ground or gain any traction without love or hate from black women. Both act as fuel. This is nothing more than a cheap, tasteless heave at a payday. The words don't match the actions. If you hate them, do without them. Skip the topic. Don't have them as guests. You clearly don't know how to host them. Don't cater convo toward them. Say no to every dollar, view, like, download, subscription generated directly or indirectly by them. Then I'll believe you. This is just pure laziness amongst other things. If you can't find a funny/creative way to be inclusive or discuss dating, then go back to the drawing board. I'll skip the lecture on self-hatred and just be glad they make it so easy to spot. And lastly, yes, we love Shaniqua and Bukisha. Lakanya is a personal favorite. I see why they hate some of you ninjas having microphones." Shake my head. And of course, he didn't say ninjas, but y'all know what I'm talking about.
Right. That was good.
But yeah, man, like, you know, so many people have something to say about what these two brothers are doing. And I don't know. Initially, they cleaned up their act before when they lost all those subscribers. But I don't know if this is going to be the same because they actually gained more of an audience this time around.
Well, I mean, the biggest thing is hopefully, you know, nothing in life is perfect. Sometimes you have the opportunity to learn from your mistakes as they come. So hopefully they can learn from some of these things. I tuned in to they had a live stream last night, and I tuned into it just real quick, and I was just listening to some of the things that they were saying. So Myron actually had his number leaked from some other source. I don't know. And he said that he was actually getting death threats from some of the backlash that was happening. And it was just basically those brothers, they were going through it again. So it to me, it's like you can't just do anything and not respect, see the repercussions of it. So clearly they're seeing something went wrong and they said something wrong because otherwise this wouldn't have been happening. So I just hope that, that they do see the wrong, and the error in their ways, and that hopefully they can correct it going forward. Otherwise, people going to be doing the same thing. They're going to talk about them again.
Facts. No matter what you do, they have consequences.
Yeah.
Good or bad. There are consequences to your actions. Not saying that, death threats are warranted in situations like this, but it's a consequence.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's real talk.
Take heed to that, man. Like, clean up your act. Fix your ish. You understand?
Yeah. Realize, man, you've been blessed. You've been blessed with a great platform. Just use it in a constructive way. What y'all have done thus far. Like, I'm not just gonna bash y'all like y'all done everything wrong. Clearly, y'all have done something right to get to the place that y'all are. Just, now that you've reached this height, don't forget what you did to get to this point. Don't start walking on people because you here now. Like,
don't for the YouTube algorithm, don't be taking dumps on people who helped you get to where you at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And those of y'all who are listening, y'all know exactly what I really meant to say. You know what I'm saying? But don't ish on people that helped you get to where you are now.
Yeah, it's not cool, brother. It's definitely not cool.
So lastly, what I want to say with that is that there have been a bunch of women who are really trying to get them the F out of here. There were a series of tweets that went somewhat viral online, and a lot of these women are actually reaching out to YouTube to get them removed off the platform. So there's this one post by a YouTuber named Real with Yanni, and she tweeted, "At Team YouTube, why are you guys allowing hate speech on your platform? I thought YouTube was a safe space created for all people. I think Fresh and Fit's podcast on your platform should be investigated for hate speech. It's against community guidelines. Please look into this. Thank you. And with that, it has 190 retweets, 69 quoted tweets, and 306 likes. Right? So this thing has been viewed quite a bit. The one thing I will say, if y'all truly, especially this is for the ladies right here, if y'all truly want to get these fellas off of the YouTube platform, stop supporting them. Stop going on their show. And this goes for all women, but especially for my sisters. I've seen black women on the platform, and for the most part, when they have women on the platform, it's OnlyFans models, Instagram models, maybe some scripters in the area, what have you understand? But y'all really need to stop going on their platform. Y'all really need to stop paying attention to what these brothers do. Y'all don't realize how much power you have as consumers in this country. A lot of these companies, a lot of these corporations know that they wouldn't be anything without the attention of women or the buying power that women hold in this country. That's why you see so many companies gear certain ads or gear majority of their ads towards women. It's a fact. Like, it's a part of marketing. So, ladies, y'all have power when it comes to this. If y'all really want to get them out of here, y'all know what to do. And that's all I want to say on this topic, man.
Big facts, man. Well, yeah, man. We're not gonna get him no more shine, though, brother. Just clean up your act. That's all what it boils down to.
I really hope this is the last time we get to talk about these fellas, because I don't want to give them any more shine.
Oh, man, we're good. But in other news, we just wanted to talk to y'all about the importance of literature. I just remember being a kid and having to read in school, and I didn't like it.
I didn't like it either.
It was boring. It was like, why are we doing this?
And you know exactly why it was boring?
Why was it boring?
Because you said I had to read in school. You had to read. Like, you were told to read. You were made to read. Right?
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, now that we fast forward, I actually enjoy reading. I love reading. I actually see the benefit of it.
Correct.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we just want to talk to y'all about the importance of books and how books can actually change your life. For me personally, I can say that books have elevated me. Books have, man, they pour into me. They make me a better man. And that's something that I didn't think books can actually do. Because like you said, in school, bro, we was reading, that was another thing. We was reading a bunch of stuff that I didn't even care about.
Stuff that I didn't care about and stuff that I don't even remember to this day.
Exactly.
What did I need to learn the Canterbury Tales for?
Bro, I forgot about that book.
Right.
But you brought the name up. Wow. Think about that.
And for those of y'all who haven't read Canterbury Tales, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But come on, what purpose does that serve?
Why do I care about Huckleberry Finn?
Right.
Bro, like Tom Sawyer. I mean, all this stuff, right?
Now, the only thing I will say that I might kind of enjoy, as far as, well, not enjoy, but one piece of literature that was somewhat necessary was To Kill a Mockingbird.
I don't remember, but I remember reading it, the book, though.
Okay, so I don't really remember it, but I do remember it was about, how can I put this for the YouTube algorithm? Dealing with...
Grape?
No. Racism.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's just say that for the YouTube algorithm. Let's say racism. Hopefully YouTube doesn't flag us for it. Because, you know, anybody who creates content on YouTube, you got to be delicate with a lot of the things that you say.
What about inequality?
Inequality could work, but it doesn't have the same effect as... But for this example, racism, we're going to say inequality instead. Which I hope they still don't flag us for, but you never know. YouTube will flag you for anything. But, yeah, To Kill a Mockingbird dealt with a lot of prejudice, inequality, and it was about a man who was on trial by the name of Atticus Finch. And yeah, that kind of taught me quite a bit of things, like of how like things used to be during that era between white people and black people. And I don't remember the end, sadly, but I just know that I remember when I read that book in school, when I had to read that book, it made me feel some type of way. I don't really remember the story, but I remember how I felt when I read it.
Right.
And how I felt. I was angry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was angry to know that that's really how our people were treated back then.
Right.
Even learning about, you know, slavery, like, I don't know, man, from slavery to Jim Crow era to segregation, you know, like, even thinking about it now, man, it just makes me feel some type of way. But yeah, certain books like that, you know, I can just remember how I felt reading it. George Orwell's 1984. That was about the future. And have you ever read that in school?
No, I never heard that one.
Well, I would say, I remember last episode we were talking about some conspiracies. 1984 is full of them. So yeah, and I mean, it's just like, it's about a dystopian future. So I would say, if you get a chance, just check it out. But anyway.
Sounds possibly disturbing.
Sounds possibly disturbing, yes, but so might our future be. After we were talking about the metaverse for the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So.
Man. But yeah, see, I mean, you see the effects that books can have on you, you know, and that just makes me think about, you know, how just, I remember when I first really got into like actually reading a book that I cared about. It was about a self-help book. When I started reading self-help books, that was the first time where I was like, whoa, books can actually be something that you can actually get from it and you can actually enjoy it. Like, you can actually open up a book and want to read from the start page to the ending page. It ain't just something that you pick up and you wanna fall asleep on.
Right.
So I think that's where you got to start. You got to understand that all books are not created the same. There are books that are actually out there for you that are really meant to help you and that you can like really benefit from. So I just wanted to like reiterate to you people that, hey, if you have not tried to pick up a book before, if you think that books are just like what's in school, it's not. I think that a lot of information, a lot of hidden information are within books. Yeah. You know, like y'all know, I've said I've talked to millionaires before, right? And one of the common thing amongst all of them is they say that they read. Now, that's not by mistake. That if a bunch of millionaires is doing this one thing, hey, if you're not necessarily a millionaire, maybe you should try that. Maybe there's something behind that. I don't know. But that's one of the traits that I have picked up is reading. It's kind of interesting when you can, like, for once in my life, I remember I didn't have a television. And it was for about a year. And I had to, like, figure out what am I going to do with my time. So I started to pick up a book. And when I started to read a book, man, I realized when I would go around certain people, I would always be able to converse with them because I had information that I learned from a book that I didn't even know I'll be able to use with other people. So, I mean, I just wanted to ask you, B, like, is there any book in your life that you feel that has impacted you outside of school, that has impacted you and that you carried on with you even today?
Before I answer that question, I want to say 2 things to kind of touch on what you just said.
Okay.
Number 1, I don't know if you've heard this saying growing up, but this is something that I heard growing up. And I'm sure a lot of our listeners have as well.
Okay.
There was a saying that went like, it said, if you want to hide anything from a black person, you know where I'm going with this?
No.
Okay.
Oh, yes.
If you want to hide anything from a black person, you put it in a book.
Yes. Wow.
All right. I don't know who started that saying. I don't know when it started, but that's something I used to hear growing up. And then the second thing that I wanted to say with that is, you mentioned you started reading books without TV, you know, when you didn't have a TV, and then you said you spoke to millionaires and you found out that all of them read. There was another saying that I heard as I got older, when I was in my 20s. It said, broke people have big TVs. Wealthy people have big libraries.
Wow. That's makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It does.
So, I there was one point in my life where I wanted to take my TV out of my room and just put like a whiteboard where my TV used to be. Mm-hmm. I just didn't feel like going through all the work to remove the TV and my movies and stuff like that. I don't even really watch TV anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm constantly working. Mm-hmm. Not just on the 9 to 5, but on our dreams, on our goals, right? I do, however, read as often as I possibly can when I'm not dabbling in the editing process or the content creation process. Like, I try to read as often as possible.
Right.
And to answer your question, one of the books that I take with me to this day, like I think about often, I'm actually going to read it again soon, that really impacted me was 50 Cent's Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter.
Okay.
Now, when you think of 50 Cent, when you think of Curtis Jackson, right, you might think of him as the rapper, the sometimes actor, but I think of him now as the business mogul.
Oh, yeah.
This man has created how many Power TV shows?
Too many to count.
Right.
For real.
And BMF.
Great series.
I've not seen it yet. I haven't watched it at all, but whenever I get to, I'm telling you, I don't watch TV anymore. Like, and it's not by choice. It's because I'm too laser focused on this. Some shows that so many people are like, yo, you gotta watch this, you gotta watch that. Like, I just, at the moment, I can't. Mm-hmm. I figured that maybe, not even maybe, but once this takes off, once we are at the point to where the 9 to 5 grind is no longer a thing for either one of us, and I have that much more time, maybe I can watch some TV. Mm-hmm. Maybe. But at the moment, the gears in my head are just constantly turning, bro. They're constantly turning. I'm always thinking about what the next move is going to be for us, how we can grow, what we can do to maximize. I'm not even going to get into all of that for you guys. I'm not trying to bore y'all. Mike, you and I will have a conversation about this afterwards. But, yo, like, just know that these gears are always turning. Mm-hmm. And because of reading that book, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter, I read that last January, right? So I read it a year ago. 50 Cent talked about a lot of the business deals that he had in his life and a lot of the things that he learned from being a hustler on the street before he ever made it in rap to eventually becoming a rapper, and now what he's doing in his life with TV shows like Power. Mm-hmm. And stuff like that. It's crazy to see his growth, because I remember when 50 first came out with music. Like, I'm from Jamaica, Queens as well. You know what I'm saying? Even before Eminem discovered him and he got signed to Aftermath and Shady Records, this man's mixtapes were all over the streets of New York. I kid you not, man. When I was a teenager, I used to go, like, we had this street in Queens called Jamaica Ave, right? Jamaica Ave is a long stretch of road, of course. It's long stretch of road, but towards now, I'm gonna kind of date things like with the bus routes, because when I was a teenager, I didn't drive, I didn't have a car until I moved here, right? But I used to take the Q43 down Hillside Avenue to get to Jamaica Ave, and I would walk, right, to get to the Ave. But the Coliseum block, if y'all from Queens, y'all ever been to Queens, y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. There's like a lot of shopping centers down there. The Coliseum is a huge like strip mall. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Some people might consider it like a flea market style mall. Like, I know that there's one here in Georgia that kind of reminds me of the Coliseum. I just can't think of the name of it right now. But on the streets by the Coliseum, and maybe even just on Jamaica Ave in general, you see a lot of people bootlegging CDs, selling CDs, maybe 2 for $5, 2 for $10, whatever. And I would constantly buy a lot of 50 Cent's old mixtapes. Before people knew him as like Get Rich or Die Trying 50 Cent, I knew him as Mixtape 50. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I would always be buying his mixtapes, G-Unit mixtapes, whatever. He talked about how things were when he was like pushing mixtapes heavy to how things were when he got signed to Shady Aftermath, and the many things that he learned with his very first album, Get Rich or Die Trying, and how even after he decided to not really rap as much anymore, how much money he made focusing on business. Like, he learned a lot of business just from hustling on the street, and like how he equated dealing weight in the street to selling mixtapes. Like, those were similar things to him. And then how he equated selling vitamin water when he had that huge deal with vitamin water.
Yep. Blew up.
Yeah. It was a lot of money to be made. You know what I'm saying? And he was able to relate one thing to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. And it was like, boom, mind blown. Now, I was never a street hustler. You know what I'm saying? I dabbled in music in my late teens, early 20s, but I wasn't out there slinging mixtapes like that.
Right.
But I can understand, as somebody who's always looking to really try to find the thing that's going to put me on the map and help all my friends around me, like, I'm not going to tell them my business, but that book really sparked something in me. I've read it once. I want to read it again, and I want to read some of the other books that 50 has been attached to, like the 50th Law. I think it's like 50th Law of Power, or 50 Laws of Power by Robert Greene.
Oh yeah, great book.
Co-written by 50 Cent. So I want to check that out.
Oh, it was co-written by 50 Cent?
I believe so.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
I mean, it's just from what I've been told, it's an add-on to the 48 Laws of Power.
Okay.
So.
Wow.
Correct me if I'm wrong. For anybody who's listening, correct me if I'm wrong. I haven't read it yet, so I don't know. But that's just what I've heard.
That's something that I've just been dabbling in myself, is the 48 Laws of Power. So, man, but see, that right there is a prime example of just how powerful books are, and how just you reading something, taking the time out to just dive into some words that are on a page on a book can impact your whole life. Like, bro, you were... I mean, I'm not going to give your age away, anything like that. But, bro, you said...
I'm about to be 33, by the way.
You said that you were, what, a teen? When you were... Bro, think about that. Just how that book impacted your life, and it added so much value to you that you take it everywhere you go now, up here. And that's just amazing. And that is what showed me the power of books. And... like I said, I love self-help books. And the reason I love self-help books is because you can literally read something that's on that page, take it out from what you just read, and apply it to your life and go forward. That, to me, is like, that's amazing. That's something that you can't put a value on. And, so for me, I think the book that really changed my life was, it was As a Man Thinketh by James Allen. Go check it out. Please go check it out. It just was a simple book that it wasn't even 100 pages, but it's just a simple book that shows you the power of your mind, and how you should just watch what you allow yourself to consume, basically. And it just tells you your mind is like a garden.
Right.
And you wouldn't just put anything inside your garden, right? You're going to plant what it is that you want to see grow. And, man, when I tell you that book, it impacted me. It was the first book I actually bought for other people. That book changed my life so much, I actually would buy copies, and I would give it out to my friends, because I'm like, yo, just read it. I don't know if they actually read it or not, but I made sure that I just gave it out to people. And it's just, that's where it started. That's where my reading journey started. So I think, the purpose for us talking about this for y'all is to just find something. Start with the books that we told y'all about.
Yeah.
Those books can impact y'all. And I think that can help.
And it's crazy that you mentioned that. Now, Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter was not the first book that I picked up, the first self-help book that I picked up. The very first one that somebody told me about years ago that I picked up, because my mom actually had a copy of it, and I didn't know it until I started talking to her about it. So she gave me her copy of this book. It's called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki.
Oh, yeah, great book.
Yeah, so that was the very first self-help book that I ever read. And to this day, I found out about so many other self-help books, so many entrepreneurship books, just after reading that one. I read Cash Flow Quadrant, also by Robert Kiyosaki. And, I mean, it's just like, it opens your mind to a lot of the possibilities that are out there.
Yeah, brother.
And I never would have found out about Robert Kiyosaki or Rich Dad Poor Dad if it wasn't for him being on the Oprah show. Like, he was on Oprah at one point.
Yeah.
And I didn't watch her show when it was on air. Like I said, a friend of mine, or old coworker of mine, he told me about Rich Dad Poor Dad probably when I was like 22, 23 maybe. And then I saw the clip probably a year or two later of him being on Oprah, of Robert Kiyosaki being on Oprah. And I was like, oh, that's the book my friend was telling me about.
Yep.
So I'm like, talked about it, talked to my mom about it. She had a copy. She let me get that. Changed my life, man.
See how that works, brother? Just a book, bruh. It's just a book. But it's just, you said it when you said that if you want to hide something from black people, put it in a book.
Mm-hmm.
That is, well, man, that says so much without saying a lot.
And I really don't know who started that quote or who started that saying or whatever. Like, I don't know who did that or when it was made. But, yo, all of the talks about money and entrepreneurship and the knowledge that a lot of these other groups are taught from children.
Yep.
That's not what our parents teach us because they didn't know about it. I get it. But even as we become adults, if we don't read these books, if we don't see the information that's placed in these books that these wealthy people are teaching others, we're never going to know about it.
Bro, think about it, bro. There's a point in time where I'm not sure exactly where in the world this was, but, bro, they would burn books. Like, that was illegal. Like, you couldn't read it.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think that is, bro? Because they clearly, they don't want you to know. And it's like, bro, you look at the day and age that we're in now, bro, it's social media. Social media has an effect on you. If you don't pay attention, bro, it can really shorten your attention span. So sitting down and reading a book, they don't plan on you doing that. They want you to stay on their platforms. And it's like, bro, I think it's the same thing today. It's like they still hide knowledge within books.
Yeah.
It's going to be in plain sight, but they're going to hide the knowledge from you because they know you're not going to read it.
For example, with Rich Dad Poor Dad, there's so much information in there regarding how to make money. Like with Robert Kiyosaki, he had what he calls two fathers. His biological father, who raised him, and then his best friend's father, who was wealthy. Yep. His best friend's father was wealthy. His biological father, I think he was a school teacher. So his biological father would teach him things like go to school, get an education, get a good job, which I'm sure you've heard growing up, just like I've heard growing up.
Of course.
Many of our listeners have probably heard growing up because that's what a lot of our parents know.
Right.
Because they're not wealthy. And I understand that. I'm not faulting the parents for it. But then when Robert talked about his rich dad, his best friend's father would teach him about how to leverage credit to buy assets versus how a lot of poor-minded people, as he would put it, would use credit to buy liabilities. Like a lot of us, we get credit cards and what do we do with it? We go shopping.
Yeah. We
buy the latest and greatest tech with it. We buy handbags. We buy clothes. Like we want to get fresh. We want to be dripped out. You know what I'm saying? We might, I don't know, use the credit card to put down payments on a car. Like that's what we'll do. Whereas wealthy people will take credit, they'll leverage it. First of all, they'll use their kids' social security number to help them build credit. Remember when I said that story about the farmer?
Smart.
Yeah, that was extremely smart. Farmer put all of their equipment on their kid in their kids' names, paid it off. By the time the kids was of age, they were able to get any line of credit that they wanted because their credit score was perfect. That's the type of stuff that these wealthy people are teaching their kids, that in turn the kids are putting into books when they become adults. And those of us who weren't raised by wealthy parents, those of us who didn't have the parents to teach us these certain principles, you know, we will never know these things if we don't pick up those books and read them.
Yep, that's true.
And it's crazy because, what did I say one of my favorite stores is now, if not my all-time favorite store? Where can you find me if I'm not at work?
Barnes & Noble.
Yes. So just when I want some peace and quiet, if I just want to edit, I go to Barnes and Noble. I'm chilling, I'm editing, I'm working, I'm reading. I'll take my books with me. I take a backpack with me to work every day. It looks like I'm going to school.
Yeah.
But in it, I have a book or two. You know what I'm saying? I love to read.
I agree. And that's all you gotta do, bro. And or even like for me, I don't read as many hard copy books anymore. I'll go to if you have an iPhone, they have it's an app called Books that I think it's actually pre-downloaded already on your phone. Go download some books. Or if you're not the type that want to sit down and read, hey, I started off listening to audiobooks. Audiobooks are another great way to consume books. I used to always be driving, always on my way to work. Dude, even if it's like 5 minutes on your way to work, on your way back home, whatever, right? Dude, pop in an audiobook. They have so many free audiobooks on YouTube right now that you can listen to.
Yep.
You will be surprised at how much you can learn in that short span of time of just utilizing like audiobooks that are on YouTube. I'm the millionaire that I was telling y'all about that I speak on a weekly basis with. He was just saying, take an hour out of your day and just block out an hour. Don't get on your phone. Don't get on social media. Don't have nothing else to do. Just take an hour out of your day and just read something new. And he was like, if you do that, you will be a whole new person by the end of the year. I'm just saying.
I love that. I'm really gonna start doing that. Like, I've been buying nothing but self-help books. So I have a bunch that are on my bookshelf at home because I have a bookshelf, and I put a lot of my self-help books on the bookshelf where they belong.
That's good.
And I have a lot of books that I haven't touched yet because I go to Barnes and Noble and I'll buy a bunch at a time, or I'll order some from Amazon a bunch at a time. And it's like, okay, I'm reading this now, but I plan on reading that later. And it's just like my collection has just started to grow and grow and grow, so much so that I haven't touched some of the books yet that I've purchased. I've had them for months and I haven't touched them yet.
I can understand that.
And I have an Audible subscription. I pay every month for Audible. So when I'm not listening to podcasts in the car, I'm listening to books in the car. So it's like audiobooks, physical copies, don't matter. I'm tuning in, I'm tapping in because I want to hear information from people who live the lifestyle that I want to live.
Yeah.
I want to receive that information because I'm not going to see it on TV. You can watch all the reality TV that you want with all these wealthy, put it in quotes, people that you see on TV, whether it be Love and Hip Hop or I don't even know like any of these other reality shows other than like, I don't even know, to be honest. That's the only one I know. Maybe I know
16 and Pregnant?
Bruh, what?
Yeah, I don't know. There's one of the shows to be on.
But you can watch like all these wealthy reality stars on TV from whatever TV shows that they have.
Yeah.
Love and Hip Hop, Growing Up Hip Hop, whatever. And however many other shows there are out there. If you don't do what it takes to get to that point in your life, you can never really truly live the lifestyle that those reality stars live or personify, at least on television, if you don't think about this information or if you don't seek the information in these books.
I agree. Just like I said in that book, bro. As a man thinketh, dude, it's like when you're reading a book, it's almost like you have planted a seed or you are watering your garden. It's just the thing about it is a lot of us are watering our garden with garbage that we consume through just YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Like I was just talking to some people this week, bro. Like you can get stuck in the social media. Like you can get stuck. They call it the scroll hole. Bro, you can get stuck in that, and you can consume just so much, just stuff that is just useless to you, and you don't even realize it. And you know a bunch of stuff about nothing, versus you have a goal that you have in mind, but if you were to apply that and just read a book or, and just do that for an hour, whatever, a day, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever, you'll realize that you're watering your garden, and eventually that's going to grow into actually what it is you want to be. And you're going to amass so much information along the way.
I love it. I really love it, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, If y'all haven't listened to anything that we've said over these past 19 episodes prior to this one, which is number 20, by the way, we are here. Just keep this in mind, yo, like for real. Apply it to your life because knowledge is not power. Applied knowledge is power.
Yes, sir.
Message!
And I know I've mentioned that on this show before. Whatever knowledge you obtain, you have to apply it in order for it to really be powerful.
That's it.
Not only impact your life, but to impact somebody else's life.
That's it.
So,
yes, sir. And he said it, like he said, brother. I can honestly say I'm a better person than I was. I'm now 30 years old, right? I'm a better person than I was at the age of 20 years old. But guess what happened at 21? I started reading books. And it changed my life.
there you have it.
Pick up a book, ladies and gentlemen. Please, please.
I love it. I love it. So, Mike,
What's good, brother?
after we talked about all of the topics we discussed today that we really want to resonate with our audience, what time is it now?
Man, it's time for them answers of the week.
Let's go.
Come on, brother. And I love the previous question of the week.
Which was...
What is something you learned in 2021? Age of the Robots.
So, with that, let's go over the answers that we now have, which thank you to every single person who has answered this question because we definitely got some good feedback.
Yeah, we did.
So starting with some new friends of ours, the Intentional Twins, Nidia Khadija. Khadija, if I said your username wrong, please just hit me up. Let me know. But she said, in 2021, I learned how necessary it is to start over sometimes. We don't because we think we'll be judged or it'll be too hard. But those small changes or even big changes that you have the courage to make can change the trajectory of your whole life. And you don't have to wait until the new year to do it.
Man, that was deep.
Very.
Very introspective.
Yes.
Great answer.
And her twin sister, my Tierra Fitz. Shout out to Tierra. Even when you're moving and working in purpose, not everyone you meet or have to work with wants you to win or has your best interests, but you have to focus on the vision. God's timing is perfect. When you truly surrender to Christ, everything will change. Don't take the simple things for granted. Being able to walk and use the bathroom on your own are little miracles. Prayer works, and every thought doesn't need a voice or an action.
Amen. She said it well. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Facts. Next up, from Nizzy Naya, she said, I learned that I'm a lot braver than I ever gave myself credit for.
I like that.
I like it too. I mean, that's really good. That's a great lesson to learn.
It is.
Will to Create Entertainment said, learn to accept people for who they are when they show you the first time. I had a bad habit of giving people more chances than they deserve.
I've heard that before. So that's might be some truth to that.
Shoot, I think might is an understatement. There's definitely truth to that.
Yeah.
And with that being said, I kind of want to give our answers. Oh, actually, wait, you have some more, don't you?
So from Patrice_Ashley Ann, she said, what's for you can never pass you. Man, that's the truth right there.
Shout out to Patrice.
Yeah, man. From XX Jasmine, she said, don't give second chances to people who truly don't deserve them.
Yo, that's what Will said.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's what he said. He said, learn to accept people for who they are when they show you the first time. I had a bad habit of giving people more chances than they deserve. So it's crazy. At least 2 responses that we received have been pretty much the exact same. Like,
Yeah.
yo, a lot, and that's true. A lot of these people that you deal with don't deserve more than one chance. If they show you who they are the first time, 9 times out of 10, that's who they are.
That's true. People can change though too.
People can change, and there's not like I get that, I understand that.
Mm-hmm.
People can change. Giving them a second chance, that's up to your discretion.
Yeah.
And you got to learn to use your discretion.
Yeah. And I learned too that people don't change for people, they change for themselves.
That's a fact.
So they gotta want to change for themselves.
Correct.
Big facts. What you got?
So what I said, my lesson for last year was I tend to put a lot of people's feelings and interests and stuff like that before my own. You know, that's definitely very selfless of me. I get it, whatever. But one thing that I've learned from doing all of that is I tend to get hurt in the long run just by trying to put other people's needs before mine. If you're not somebody who I'm extremely close to, if you're not like a relative who I'm extremely close to, a friend or like a girlfriend or anything like that, and I'm really not trying to be funny with that, but
Yeah.
I have to put my needs first. I have to put myself first, because there's so many people who will cut you off in an instant and won't even think twice about it because they put themselves first.
That's true.
I try to please everybody, and by doing that, I only end up disappointing myself, and I had to learn that the hard way. So this year, 2022, I am definitely putting myself first. I don't care who has to say anything about it. I gotta be the best version of myself before I can attempt to please anybody else.
That's real talk. Definitely, I could tell you you did some introspection on yourself. Nah, that's good though, B. I'm glad you came to that understanding. For real, man.
Yeah, most definitely.
For me, the biggest lesson that I learned in 2021, I would have to just say that it was understanding that bad days, they're not meant to stay, that there is truly a lesson that is behind them, and if you don't give in and don't fold from them, I guarantee you that it's only going to make you better. But that also good days, enjoy them, have fun in them, but to stay humbled and understand that a bad day may come. It's going to come, because that's just life. There's different seasons. But don't get just so consumed thinking that life is always going to be great. But understand that, hey, this is a great moment, but hey, there may be some bad times that's going to come, but that bad time, like I just said, is only meant to help you and grow you. So it keeps you at an even level in life.
Right. You
ain't going to never be too high, you ain't going to never be too low. Because when you get too high, you think that, oh, man, I ain't going to never come down. But that ain't the truth, B.
It's not.
It's not, man. So I've just learned to appreciate every moment in my life. That's what it really taught me. Appreciate it.
I like that. So, ladies and gentlemen, there you have the answers of the week from episode 19. Again, thank you to each and every single one of y'all who gave your answers, and we greatly appreciate it. We've learned quite a bit from y'all, actually.
Yeah, we have. Those answers truly is what that was my hope, is that, you know, we got a lot of responses from that, because I feel like we all can benefit from each other and what we have learned. Because the stuff you brought up, bro, I wasn't even thinking about that, but I'm like, hold on now, I need to learn that.
Yeah.
So hey, man, that was good.
Yes, sir. So, as for the question of the week for today's episode, drum roll, please. If you had the opportunity to get a message across to a large group of people, what would your message be? You want to answer that now, or you want to answer it next week?
The metaverse is coming. No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, we've said that multiple times.
Yeah,
I think
true.
they get it by now.
That's true, man. But nah, I'm gonna hold off. I'm gonna think about mine a little bit before I give mine.
So with that, yeah, I'll probably do the same thing. I mean, I have an idea of what message I would love to get across to a large group of people, but I'll save it.
Yeah, I'm still thinking about mine. That's actually a really good question.
I already know what I want to say, but I'll save it for next week.
Yeah, man. Hold it, because it could change. Who knows?
It could. I highly doubt it will, because I don't know. I'm not gonna say that, but it could.
Think so? You already know how to answer that question You can comment down below here on YouTube if you're watching on YouTube.
Which I know a lot of you guys are, right? Because we are at 52 subscribers.
52!
Celebrate the small wins.
For real,
And it's
for
crazy because a few days ago, you were like, bro, we're close to 50.
Yeah.
We were like 3 away from 50.
Mm-hmm.
And in just that short amount of time, we got 5.
Just like that.
Just like that.
And y'all don't really understand, like, to get a subscriber on YouTube, it's like, it really is like, it's just like, it's like a milestone in every subscriber.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just to get one. I'm elated. I'm happy. So, I appreciate y'all.
So, shout out to all 52 of y'all.
All 52. Real talk.
You can also leave a comment on our Instagram post because we are definitely going to post this on our gram. Right, if you're not following us on Instagram, be sure to follow us at Residual Impact Podcast. Or you can follow our backup page. Actually, not or, but and you can follow our backup page at Residual Impact. Make sure you comment down below and let us know your answer to the question of the week for this week. Or you can DM us. Go ahead and shoot us a DM because we're going to drop it in our stories.
Yeah, we are.
So
That's true.
those are the ways that you can respond to the question of the week. And again, we always appreciate each and every single one of y'all who do answer the question of the week.
Yes.
And for those of y'all who don't, come on, don't be shy. Just give us your answer. I mean, we're all human. If you don't want us to say your name, we don't have to say your name if that's what you're worried about.
Yeah.
But
We trying to get y'all a little shine, too.
most definitely.
We all can win.
Yeah. So answer the question of the week, ladies and gentlemen.
Please. We greatly appreciate that.
Always.
Man, but B, this is episode 20.
Yes, sir.
20 episodes.
20 episodes in. Only took a week off.
Only took a week off. Wow. Like, I think we got to clap our hands for that one, B. That's nothing to take lightly. I think we need to appreciate that, man. And, hey, I think this is still only the start, of course.
Of course.
We do need to celebrate this as well because this is a milestone.
Yep. No giveaway for this milestone, though. You're not getting no more money from me right now.
Hey, that was on him, y'all. I tried to get y'all something, y'all. I tried to give it to y'all.
Listen, the next giveaway will probably be at about 50 episodes, maybe 500 subscribers. You know, whatever. When we hit that milestone, we'll do another giveaway. So if y'all want something from us, we need something from y'all. Go ahead and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Get us to 500. Let's go.
Hey, man, y'all heard it straight from the man himself. Hey, man. So, B, it's time to close it out, man, like always.
Yes, sir.
What do we say, man?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
Hey, man, I'll give it to him straight like that.
Let's do it.
Where you are today is a residual, and I truly mean residual, outcome of the thoughts that you have had in the past.
Word.
Just like that, man.
Yep.
So until next time, we love y'all, we appreciate y'all, but y'all gotta get up out the house now. You ain't got to go home.
But you gotta get up out of here. You feel me?
Man.
Yo, but straight up, we appreciate each and every single one of y'all, like for real, for real. Y'all just don't know.
Yeah.
So thank you guys, and we can't wait to see y'all next week
Yeah.
for another episode. What number?
I think that'll be 21.
21.
Come on now. I hope I said that right.
I think you did.
I think I did too.
Yeah.
Working on my Spanish.
Thank you guys.
Thank y'all for real, man. Love y'all, man.
Till next time.
Peace.
Peace.